So following on from the Toulouse game, season 2 of Bordeaux, the Toulouse game where we should have won and we got knocked out on pens after dominating the game, we then picked ourselves up and we went on a tremendous run. Unfortunately, only picking up 2 points out of the possible last 9, it didn't stop us becoming champions, getting a second consecutive promotion. However, finishing on 99 points when we should have finished on at least, 1-4, 1-5, is a little bit frustrating. So, in today's episode, we're going to prepare for Season 3 in Ligue 2. Nearly there now, nearly there. However, I think this jump is maybe not as big as League 2 to League 1, or Liga to League 2. However, it's a bigger jump than what we've had this season, all right? We've got not much money in terms of wages to offer, players leaving, players retiring. It's going to be a little bit tricky. We've been given about $1 million to spend. Unlikely that we're going to spend it, and only about 18 grand in the wages. Bearing in mind that, some of the wages in League 2 are going to be perhaps, 50% of that, maybe on a couple of players? There might be a couple of players on maybe nearly 10 grand a week. We're nowhere near that. So that's a slight worry. We're also going to have a little bit of turnaround. Zheng Ji's leaving, obviously. Anthony Dupree will leave. Acevedo's already left. Aziz, one of our better players, wanted a bigger club. He's still not found one yet. It would have been nice if he'd have come through the system with us all the way to the top. He's decided that he can get better football somewhere, so it'll be interesting to see where he goes. Look at that. He's had a tremendous season in the third tier, and he would have been good enough for us, I think, in the second division. Sabatare is likely to leave. Sykes Kenworthy may stay as a backup. Moustache we will probably keep. However, he's wanting nearly £3,000 a week, which is a lot. Bearing in mind at the moment he's on 675, and that is already taking a considerable chunk out of our budget for next season. Stuart Armstrong will leave. Bruno will leave. Alan Azarun will leave, Viti will leave, Sanya will leave, Sao and Lima are going back. Would be nice to get them back, but it's always difficult to sign players back. They always want to send them elsewhere. Never send them really anywhere better, but they no doubt want to send them elsewhere. So that is over 50% of our squad. The players that we have got kicking around, who's been our leading goal scorer, it's obviously Famara Didu. Now, he will not be probably good enough for Liga. Hopefully, we can get maybe a good season out of him in Ligue 2 before we have to replace him next season. He will be, 34? Yeah, he'll be 34 by the end of next season. So, yeah, likely he'll need replacing. Bebe has come in and done a wonderful job for us. How many goal contributions? 35 goal contributions. He's got a year left as well, so likely we will see him next season. Probably his final season as well, because I said he is 35, 36. He's going to be 36 even before the season starts. So there's going to be a lot of work to be done, all right? So in today's video, we're just going to go through the signings we make, the progress we've made in Ligue 2, and then we're going to start next week, or we're going to actually start tomorrow, Sunday. We're going to start with a classic Let's Play, 2 games, and see what our progress has been in Ligue 2. All right, if you are following the series, smash a like on today's video. That would be wonderful. I know it's not a massive audience, but I do like doing these Let's Plays, and we need to figure one out for FM25. There'll be a video on my thoughts for what I'm going to do for FM25 next week. Right, we're in the 2nd of July. I always like to do my business, unless there's an absolute worldie out there. I don't like to do business early on, just because wages tend to drop as the summer goes on. Unless there's someone out there that we need to compete for, we need to get in, but there's definitely plenty of options going forward. As you can see, the squad is looking very bare. We've got still a few that are going to be contracts out. There's a few that are not good enough, like Pinter's not good enough, Sanko's not good enough. Koulibaly is one who really is not good enough, but will probably stay as a backup. We've got Didu and Akinyemi as the only attacking players. As you can see, there is no Bebe, because he, despite having a fantastic season, despite having a year left on his deal, despite me, if this was real life, me begging him to stay, he's decided to retire and become a terrible coach, basically, or a terrible scout. People management 5, judging playability 4, and judging potential. So he's not done well there. We've up against it now because his wages were relatively low. Let's see how much we've got to spend. We've got 30 grand, which sounds a lot. So what's our total? With our total budget being 63. Bearing in mind, let's have a see what the other clubs have got. So Ejako, 75. Is there any big ones? 65. We might. Anger's 183,000. Ozer 107. 63 for us. 47. So we're 112. Dijon who will come up with us. So we're in and around it. Gingamp, 138k. So we're not going to be in amongst the big boys. Shit, Met, 288,000. So we're looking at maybe at a mid-table place. Now, the board already, what have they asked for? They have asked for avoid relegation, which takes the pressure off a little bit. I think we will be fine. I don't actually think we'll get relegated. We've also got some highly rated youngsters. We've got Gerard Laurent, who's coming through. Look at those mentals. He is a mental beast. 5'11", probably like right back, centre back. He's not going to be a world beater technically. However, he's already capped under 18 level. So we're going to look at kind of keeping these players on. They're going to be needed in pre-season as well because we're not going to get players in through the door pretty early. Dylan Vidal is another one, capped at France under 18s. I don't see it at the moment. Tackling 14, 6'1". I don't think he's going to be Liga quality. By the time these players really kick in, they need to be Liga. Ilias Barod is okay, good, not good physicals. I thought at 6'2" we would have a little bit more. Quite technical, quite nice as a deep line forward. And then we've got a couple of others that could do half a job. Trebelsi is one that I actually like. We've got Pirion as well, who's a wide winger. We've got Trebelsi as well. There you go. A little bit of finishing, pace 15, 6 foot. I think he may be useful. He's nearly 17 as well, so he's got plenty of time to develop. So some of these players might need to come through in pre-season. They'll definitely get the opportunity. However, we need to really strengthen in the summer. Right, the season has begun. Just calm down. We are top of the league. 10 games, 6 wins, 3 draws, 1 defeat. 20 goals scored, 9 conceded. The defeat coming to Grenoble, 3-1. We've made a good start. At the start of the season, I was really worried that we were going to be a million miles off. I never thought we'd be down here, but I didn't think we'd be able to compete. At the moment we are. Whether we can carry on with this is another question. Money-wise, it's not looking great. We need to get into Liga as quickly as possible. We do not want to be millions and millions of pounds in debt ahead of the new season. As you can see, we've just spending around 68,000, which, as you could see, is 2.71 million, and it lies as 16th out of the 20 clubs. And I always think this is a good kind of gauge of maybe where you should finish. And down in 16th, overspending on our budget as well, we're doing all right. Now, what did we do in the summer? It needed to be a lot, and this is what we've done. We've had to do a few loans because of the wage situation, not having much. And if we start signing a fair few players, it's going to cost us a little bit. So, number 1, Shea Lacey, Manchester United kind of. I need to get his face in the game. Man United, really highly rated winger. Can do a job out on the right-hand side. Potentially for his dribbling's all good. Physical's good at that age. Yep, he's made an average start to the season at only 6.88 though. Digi Sibide is in. I'm not even going to pronounce. I always get that one wrong, so I'm just going to go Digi. Former Lille, Monaco, Everton. Was a little bit, I'm not going to say wonderkid, but I always remember him being a really solid defender because he could do both sides comfortably. He's 34, but yeah, deal. Look, we're just signing these has-beens to get us through. Not have long contracts and stuff like this. The only issue is we're not now getting wages, sell-on value with these players. Now we've kind of sold all those clauses. We haven't got much money in, so that's the issue when signing these players. There's no real sell-on value. Paul Scholl is another loanee, centre-half, coming alongside Will Fish, 6'4", good physicals, decent technicals, decent mentals. We tried to get Sal back. Wasn't allowed to come back, unfortunately, so we've gone with Scholl. Jace Fitzgerald is another one. Holding midfielder, central midfielder, to play a little bit of right back, a little bit of centre back. He's just in there to kind of play wherever we can fit him in. He's excellent in all the positions, look, so really comfortable that we've got someone who can just rotate round. Then we panicked a little bit at the start of the season. Couple of days before the season started. John Michel Sherry, I brought him back because he was with Bordeaux in Liga, just for a season. That should not have been the reason to sign him. He had good technicals, good mentals. He's on a really cheap wage. He's just a bench sitter now. But yeah, a little bit of a panic buy. This might have been considered as a panic buy, but I thought I had to bring him in. 150 quid. Henri Civet. Everyone knows him. Champman, FM legend. Last with the club in 2015, 16. We've got him back 10 years later. He's not going to play. I don't need him to play. I just want him to be there smiling because he's back. He would have probably sold some shirts as well. 150 quid a week. Nice to have him home. This is probably the worst one. Panic signing, 2-year deal, 4,500. I'm hoping I can get rid of him at the end of the season. We just needed bodies in the middle of midfield, and before we managed to get some loanees, I brought in Mert Hakan Yandis. I thought we needed a little bit more playmaking quality. He's got decent passing, decent teamwork. He's on a little bit of the past-it side, which probably suits us, but he can do a couple of little roles for us. Fingers crossed he can just be enough to get us through this season. And then we signed two fantastic, well, later on in the window, look, we had a bit of a break. That was the panic signings before the start of the season, and then we brought in some quality. Johan Caicedo, I don't think he's no relation to the game to Moses Caicedo. That's because he's Colombian and other Caicedo is Ecuadorian, so that probably makes sense. So Gunde Falante, we've kind of had him as an anchor. What have we actually been playing him as? Anchor. Yeah, he's our anchor. Decent physicals, pace, stamina, all pretty good. Can break things up, tackling. Yeah, nice little addition. Can also do a couple of roles in the midfield as well. So we've got nice rotation options. And then this one, he's going to be a little bit of a legend. Coli Sacco. Look at how he started. 6 goals, 3 assists in 9 appearances from central midfield. And that's because he runs through the centre with the ball. Decent technicals, decent physicals, and he's 6'7", jumping reach 18. He's already scored 3-4 goals from headers. Arriving late in the box, this guy is a baller. And at the same time as well, 24 years old. He's been about. Le Havre, then to Sochaux, then Milan decided to snap him up, then a year later Napoli snaps him up. He's been out on loan, hasn't then played, well, he played a couple of games for Napoli in Serie A, and he's French, and we've got him on a permanent deal, 3-year deal as well. That is potentially someone that we could sell on if we have to, but boy, have we got a player that's potentially going to be good enough next season for us in Liga when we get there. And then the last one brought in Trent, Kone, Doherty. We just needed another wide player. We're actually struggling with our wide options right now. We've still got a couple of youngsters kicking in. We've also said bye to Arazun went, Stuart Armstrong went, Pinter went, Sanya went, Nguete as well wanted to leave. We couldn't offer him. He wasn't Liga standard, and I thought, look, he had a tremendous first season. Last season was decent, but he didn't hit any numbers, so I thought we need to really not overspend on him. And then Miguel Aziz is still unwanted. Is he wanting to play? No. We're going to try and bring him back at Christmas, though. I'll go back in for him. And there's Bebe. He now wants to be, as I said, assistant manager. He's got no chance. We've also done a little bit of business in the backroom staff. We wanted it a place for those sort of like people forgotten about. Robbie Fowler, tremendous attacking coach, is in. William Gallas, defensive coach. No, under-19s coach, working with youngsters 19, so that's why we've got him in. Did he ever play for Bordeaux? No, he didn't. That's fine. Wasn't a prerequisite. Bogdan Armanka is our new under-19s physio. You're not bothered about that. Joe Hart is our new under-19s coach. Not goalkeeper coach. 17, working with youngsters. Terrible goalkeeper coach. That's funny. Pep knew all along. Goalkeeper distribution, 1. And then to finish it all off, Marouane Fellaini, coach in under-19s. It's just a name. We didn't have a great... I just brought him in because it was a name, basically. Adds a little bit of depth to our growing under-19 squad. So that is where we are at. We've still got a couple of the youngsters. If we go on... Is there an age? Yep, there we go. If we go on age, we've got still a number of players. Lachaud, Laurent, Trebelsi and Barod. All our youth academy products all coming through, which is pretty damn cool. We are first in division, so we made a decent start. We've had a little wobble, but we have played Auxerre, one of the big hitters in the division, and a 1-1 draw at Nancy. We'll call it Nancy. Coli Sacco, and then they equalised literally a minute later. But we've started well. Dijon, good win. So sure, Grenoble was disappointing. Angers, that's probably the highlight of the season. A 3-0 win at Angers. And they are well down. Yeah, they're well off it. So, yeah, things are going pretty well. Now, next episode, we're playing Imons. We're going to do that. We'll also do, who else are we playing for a double header? Imons and Ajaccio, who are bottom of the league. That will be tomorrow's video. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. Sorry it's been like a week or two. We've had lots of things going on in the house. I've also found City Skylines 2, and that's put me off a little bit. I've sidetracked playing and just playing a gaming rather than creating content. We are back now. Get this season done. Fingers crossed. It'd be amazing if we get into Liga after 3 seasons. That would be perfect. That's the aim. We've got a nice little bit of playoffs as well, but it'd be nice to build a league. Saint Etienne are in the division. We never even looked at their wages. 174. Yeah. they're going to be pretty good this season. Can we just hold out, stay injury-free, and I think we can potentially finish top 6. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Double header, classic Let's Play. See you later.